Namaskar. Now we will discuss the working of decoder. Decoder. Now the IC 74138. Here is the number of the IC. Is the decoder IC. Basically, the decoder has three select inputs A, B, and C. Then there are three more inputs to enable the IC G2A, G2B, and G1. G2 and G2B are active low inputs, whereas G1 is active high input. The decoder has in all 8 outputs from Y7, this is Y7, which is also the active low output, Y6, Y5 up to Y0. Each output is low, active low output. This bubble indicates that it is active low and it is output. Pin number 16 is VCC. It is to be connected to plus positive terminal of the battery. Pin number 8 is the ground terminal, which is to be connected to the negative terminal of the 5 volt supply. Now, here I have connected the circuit for the testing of working of decoder with help of the digital keys, which can provide 0 or 1 logic to the input, and here is the LED panel, which is to check the status of output. That means through the keys we can provide input to the IC and we can check the output through the LED panel. Again, like the encoder, directly the output pin cannot drive the LED, cannot provide the sufficient current to glow the LED, and therefore we have used here the buffer panel, which is made up of 74245, which is buffer IC. Now I will show you the working of this type of decoder. Now if you observe the pin number G1, which is the enable pin, and it is active high, which indicates that if the IC is to be activated, essentially G1 must be high, otherwise it will not consider the change in input and output remains unchanged. Okay. Remaining two inputs G2A and G2B are active low inputs. Again, these are the enable inputs, and therefore to make the IC enable, it is essential to make these two inputs to be low. Means for the total enable inputs, whenever G1 is high, G2A is low and G2B is low, then and then only the IC will be in the working stage, otherwise it will not work at all. Now you will have to guess what will be the output at that time. As a hint, I can repeat, the outputs are active low. That means whenever the output is low, then it indicates that it is active, it is live. Okay, that is it. The logic is yes. Okay. Inputs A, B and C are active high inputs, and these inputs has to select the particular output. Okay. Therefore, there are in all 8 combinations of the input 0, 0, 0 to 1, 1, 1, and for each a combination, corresponding output will be activated. Now with this information, you can prepare your truth table. Again, for the truth table, there must be 6 possible inputs A, B, C, G2A, G2B and G1. And to the output side there must be 8 outputs from Y7 to Y0. Here I have mentioned it is Y7 to Y0. This LED represents the status of Y7 and this represents the status of Y0. Now as there are 6 inputs, the possible combinations are 2 raised to 6. But you may cascade, you may combine few combinations, because for those combinations the output will not change at all, and you may use the don't care condition for particular input and you may represent it. For example, suppose G1 is 0, then there is no need to care G2A, G2B, A, B, C. And we can write for these 5 inputs x, 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 and G1 is equal to 0, and the output will remain inactive, that means high. Therefore, the output Y7 to Y0 will be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Similarly, if G1 is high, then we will have to take care of G2A and G2B. If G1 is high and G2A is also high, then again G2B and ABC will be ignored, because to enable the IC, G2A must be low, it is active low input. Now, to have the IC activated, G1 must be 1, G2A and G2B must be 0. Then depending on the present status of ABC, that means 0, 0, 0, effective digital number is 0 and therefore 0th output will be activated. This Y0 will be activated, which will be represented by the LED to be 0, say for example. Okay. Now what you will have to do? With this information, you will have to prepare the truth table. In the next video, I will show you the different inputs by changing the status of these keys, and you can check whether you had prepared the proper truth table or not. In case of encoder, we had considered the experiment first, and then by observing the status of LEDs and corresponding keys, you had prepared your own truth table. But now in this experiment for the decoder, what you will have to do? First you will have to prepare your truth table, and then after going through the second video, we will check the status of the LEDs and we will verify whether our truth table is correct or not. Thank you.